introduction so many times. It's actually starting to stress me out.
Sana, when I say it was stressing me out, this is what I mean.
Wise. Hi besties, my name is Zetu. I am Voyo's younger sister and for the purposes of this video, I think that's as far as I need to go introductory wise. So yeah, welcome to the City Nolali's YouTube channel where yo 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 yo, and I think this is about the 10th time I've got into this pod, and it's been a very tricky, tough 10s. The English just doesn't want to English when I get here, so let's give it one more try.
Also, guys, no one can tell me that this thing is real because did you notice how many times I glitched? And did you notice how many times my personalities and my mood had to switch up? Soze.
And every time I do it, because I have to read it. I don't know it off by heart. I highly doubt Nomduayo knows it off by heart. I really do doubt it. But yeah, she's most likely said it like at least 100 times, because I think I've said it like at least 10 times over the past few. But anywho, hi besties. I hope everyone is good. My name is Uzetu Vuyo's younger sister. She did mention that I would be joining, or not joining, but doing this week's YouTube video in the last video, since I was with her during the roughest period of my life, to be honest. During the time where we took down her kitchen and put it back up to refurbish, renovate, or I don't know what the actual term of what we were doing is, but yeah, for what we were doing, which you'll see in a couple of minutes. So yeah, I think I'm doing well for now. But anywho, welcome to the life of a City Nolali, where simple living meets a soulful charm. This is your escape into the countryside, from sun-kissed mornings by the pergola to a fresh harvest in the garden. Whether you're here for farmhouse DIYs, for delectable recipes, or to grow your own produce, stick around, you're in the right place and you're about to be served. I think I nailed it. But anywho, guys, please do like, please do subscribe, and please do leave comments as the video goes on or whenever. Please like, comment, and subscribe, because I've watched a relevant amount of YouTube videos in my lifetime. But ngoku sana, they all seem like a concept, a very concept. I hope that makes sense. But anywho, guys, so let's get into what we are here for. This week's video is me and Voyo taking down her kitchen and putting it back up. This includes removing everything that is a disturbance, so your pots, your spices out, and taking down the cupboard doors and moving them outside, removing hinges, handles from the doors, sanding them, whilst she was also doing the same thing inside, where she was sanding the cupboard doors, wiping them cleaning up before having a paintbrush. Same process I was doing outside, and moving to inside, where I could avoid as much dust as I possibly could and leaves blowing onto wet paint and stuff like that. So what else did we do? We had to move those doors after I was done priming and painting them on the inside. Didn't paint them on the outside because we didn't have enough time for me to do that, since I was leaving. Because this was something that we thought would take 2, 3, 4 days maximum, but lol, Ninwayo is still doing it at this particular moment in time in life. Yeah, and she keeps seeing things. That's also another thing. I get it, but damn, yo, right there and then I was literally just like, I'll see where simoka nalo umcimbi siqalileyo mntakabawo ungapha kwethu, but no, maningathi ungapha kwethu, because we conquered. No, it was within our limits, but hey, at a very large cost. And when you were thinking about other things that you were still going to need, can't you just finish this one task and like disappear for 6 months or so and then come back and start thinking about well, but no, no, Bestie doesn't do that. I don't think I would either, but just a suggestion. So we moved everything back inside and then had to put the hinges back on, put the doors back on the walls, find which doors came from where, stuff like that. She did not enjoy that part, and she really thought that after we got through the painting, it was an easy job. Lol, it wasn't. We spent a whole entire night, honestly, doing it. I think the night before leaving, actually not the night before leaving, that morning, I had like 3 hours of sleep because we worked, I think, up until like 3 in the morning. It was not fun, Sana. It was not a joke. Everything was not, hey, nothing was good, nothing was fine. Also, guys, this is the real me. This is what I look like. How often? At the very least, 80% of the time. Not Lendoni Bonayo. Not what you're gonna see. That I think that was my ghettoist. I really, really think, and that had been the longest time I looked like that. I was so unimpressed. I was not okay. I was not okay. Yo, but anywho, this is me. Guys, please do enjoy the YouTube video. Yeah, let's get into it. Currently, the before of the whole entire place. She started taking Ezekiel to the cottage so that the pots and the dishes don't get dirty. And we're gonna take down these doors and take them outside to paint them, and then we're gonna come back inside and paint the actual cupboard to this part and most likely take this out. And we're also gonna paint the walls. I think she said white glossy white thing. Yes, the cupboards are gonna be black, matte black. And then yeah, we're also going to have to clear out this area soon. I don't know whether it's gonna be today or not, but we're gonna do that. So I'm just gonna put my phone on a tripod stand and do a time lapse for the next couple of hours, and I'll most likely keep you updated on what's happening as we're doing stuff. Right now, we're moving dishes. So yeah, Bessie and I got straight into taking out the dishes, and straight after that, we got to taking down the doors, as you can see over here. Yeah, that was a mission of its own, but we got through it. Way too.
Surely there's a still brush here somewhere. Hey dear. Oh. Surely, ngicela ungandibonisi torho. Because they are going to stress me. Please don't show me. I beg of you.
I can only laugh because then so now we've done a lot and we've gotten pretty far, but damn. The previous clip was around about the time I realized that Zana, oh no, this is so painy. Because Zana, I really don't know how much time I spent in that corner and Tutalaza trying to get those things out. But it was a decent amount of time. Also, we've got to eat. And currently, situation in eat, yeah, kunjalo. It is like that. Yeah, so basically all the doors are down. My sister also decided that she wants to take this part down, so we're gonna be taking it down. But right now I am gonna go out because I need to go back to my place in Cape Town. So knowing that Andy Palindo night baby, I think I'm gonna have a couple of late nights because we really did underestimate how much time this would take, because today I think we thought that we would have at least done all the sanding, but we haven't started. We've just been unscrewing the doors
and that has taken a load of time. So before tonight ends, well, before midnight, I guess, because midnight is my cutoff time, I need to come and unscrew all the handles and the hinges that they were hinged onto in the kitchen. And I need to sand all of this so that tomorrow morning, wake up, prime it, and get on to sanding the walls in the kitchen. Well, the tidy part, the cream tiles at the moment, get on to sanding them. And then actually we have to sand everything at once so that none of the dust catches on. So tomorrow morning is sanding, and then we have to prime everything. Yeah, so tomorrow's going to be a very busy day as well. Yeah, guys, now you're all caught up. Now I'm just going to finish off my cup of coffee and actually get to doing what I just struck out about. So after my caffeine dose, I went outside and I started unscrewing the hinges and the handles, and Wuyo came and joined me a couple of hours later. And this is where we realized that sanding would not be as easy as we thought. We needed coarser grits, and we also needed to try paint remover to remove the wood stain.
Hi friends, it's another day. But anywho, it's the second day after we started taking down the cabinets. As you can see behind me, the doors all stripped. Now we just need to remove a wood stain. Many guys know wood stain, but it makes sense because I didn't notice when I was unscrewing. Parts that were screwed were a bit patchier than the parts that were visible to everyone. So it makes sense that we have to remove the wood stain. But Sana, his name is Linda, instead of the wood stain. We had now realized that we first have to remove the wood stain before we can sand the cupboards properly, or we can use, I don't know, it's a high grade whatsoever of sanding paper, because the ones that we planning on using initially are not working. So yesterday we stopped right after I had just removed all of the screws from the doors. And that was about 10, that was like 10:30, so we had a very long night. And today we're going to start off by sanding the walls and the cupboards, I think. I'm not too sure, considering the fact that we had initially thought of using wood stain, but we just realized that wood stain is very unpredictable. Not wood stain, paint stripper, I think that's what it's called, is very unpredictable and it can take a while. So we are now going to have to sand it, and instead of using sanding machines, we're going to have to do it these beautiful babies.
So this was what the kitchen looked like before we started working on it on the second day. Yeah, as you can see, like everything was practically out. Like most stuff was out and the doors were down. And Vuyo started sanding inside, and yeah. Update. So the time now it's almost 12, and Uzetu is feeling a bit sludgy today, but we've taken down the hob and the other part of the cabinet and sanded a bit, but the grit that we had was not, what's the word? Was not doing, I was not doing what I was meant to do, so we had to go get more sanding paper. By now we should have primed, but akaqhubeki neyosenda indaba, but akoway, the show must go on. I-Red Bull ayinike maphiko, ku-tricky, ku-tough, ku-tense, aku-cute. Instead of ingxaki zethu zincipha okwangoku zisanda, but we'll get to a point where they start comparing, hopefully soon rather than later, because Sana, no. At this point, I was genuinely tired, and I was looking at all of the work that we still had to do, and Sana, it was tremendous. Hi friends, so it's another day. And I was hoping that by today this space would be empty and with a primer, but unfortunately I am left with like 20, not 20, like 10% of the sanding. And then I'm going to move to the garage and wipe them down, make sure that there's no dust, and then move them inside so that I can prime them. And sana. As you go by, you realize that you can't do certain things because remember we had to remove the top layer of the paint, varnish, wood stain, whatever you call it, and we realized that we couldn't do it with the sanding grits that we had. So we tried to use paint remover, which also did not work, and then we ended up having to go buy a grit for the sanding machines that would actually do the job. And yeah, I really thought the sanding part would be easy with the sanding machine, and it turns out it really wasn't, because it took me like at least half a day yesterday. But my sister started priming inside, so it's just me a bit behind with the doors. But I mean, I'm not really behind. If I just focus on my doors and she does the inside, we should like meet just after the inside of the black paint has dried, and then we left with the outside, and we can hang them and then just paint the doors on the wall. Because honestly, painting vertically, I feel like has a better chance of dust particles laying on the nonsense. And also I'm gonna have to paint them on the floor inside the garage, and then I'm gonna have to keep on turning them around, so I just feel like there's gonna be a lot of room for dirt. So yeah, I was thinking that prime inside, prime outside, paint inside, and then put them back on, and then paint outside, and then leave them to dry whilst they're on the wall. But yeah, guys, I am tired though. It is 9 a.m. or just after 9. Yesterday I went to bed at like just after midnight, but I went inside the house after 8, and it was ridiculously cold. I literally was just like, yeah, no, there's no point of me. I got assuring myself I couldn't eat yanyan. Yeah, another day, another dollar, I guess. Though. And by the looks of things, what was meant to be a 2-day job has turned into a 4-day job. Day 3 of this vlogging, I basically didn't vlog because I was running up and down the yard. I was in between the lapa, whatever boxes right in front of the garage, moving cupboards, wiping them, getting water, everything. So I was like, yeah, no, I love Zetu, and y'all know the vlogging and also having to do all of that. No, I had to pick a struggle.
This is how much I still have left. All the brown is how much I still have left. This is what I've done. And this, I've probably only done like almost a third, not even a third, almost a third. Yo, somebody kill me. No. I am exhausted. My lower back hurts. My hands hurt from holding the brush. My arms hurt from sanding to this. Kill me. I'm actually dying.
The last time I took a video and explained what was going on, I was headed to that area. I still had a bit of sanding left with my cupboard doors, and after that I swept the dust off. The area is quite messy, but I've taken Seal and the dust, most of it away, but it's still messy, and yeah, no, I'm not moving from where I am. I'm a very lazy human being, I'm not moving around. And I had to move from there after sweeping off the dust from the cupboard doors to top of these things, and that's where the drawers still are. I still need to wipe the dust with a damp cloth, just a wet cloth, not like in man's but just in anyway. So then I moved them over here, and there's a solar on basically every side, and then after that I had to move them inside of here. And this is the garage. This is basically where I'll be doing all of the painting. Those 12 doors at the top there, they've been primed on the inside, and these ones also need to be primed on the inside and the sides. And yeah, I'm gonna have to do a bit of tandiriri because space is a bit limited now, since I am trying to keep le isele for priming, since the prime is white. And then I'm gonna put another one over here where I will move those ones after I've painted the other side as well to here, and then that's where I'm gonna add the black paint. And then after that they're gonna be off to inside the house where, yeah, of and there's still the hinges and the handles that I still need to spray paint gold. So I'm just gonna, I think that will be like the last thing I do, because I'll have plenty of space for them and just spray paint into background. So yeah, now I'm just gonna put my phone up against the wall and I'll do a time lapse, I guess, of the priming process and the painting process if I get to that point. Hopefully I do. But yeah.
Here, Vuya had already finished priming the cupboards and she was already onto the walls. And Mnasana, I was a bit behind. It took me a couple of days to get to a point where I actually had a paintbrush in my hand, and then a black paint was the one that I was using. It really took me some time, and I really thought by this time we would have been done with this whole entire thing. But hey, we moved. Vuyo also got a spray gun, and I don't really think she ever really figured out how to use it. She tried, but she gave up at some point and chose to do it the traditional way, paintbrush. So this is what the doors look like after the first layer of paint. As you can see, there's a bit of white patchiness, so that meant I had to go in with the second coat before I could screw the hinges back on and also place them back on the cupboards. And I only focused on the inside at this particular point and didn't paint the outsides. So yeah.
Oh no, I'm loving this.
And you're also going to end up wasting a lot of paint. If you spray paint those on your things.
I think even the grease is just going to give it like a brassy look.
Quick side note before I get into this one. Uvuyo has a thing with vintage doors and sana une vision ayibona yedwa, but hey, she sees it, which is why she was going off about brassy feels and stuff like that. And I was literally just looking at all of that and I was like, if I'd had the chance, I genuinely would have soaked all of this in hot water, but hey, yeah, she ended up liking it. Over here, we're moving the doors from the garage to the living room. The ones that I still needed to put the hinges back onto so that we could put them back on the cupboards. Yeah. So with everything that we were doing, at some point we realized that it would be better that we split up. So I was left screwing back the screws
and the hinges back on the doors. And this part, as you can see, she's basically doing the same thing over and over again. This was the part that was dusting her, and she had to match the doors to the cupboards. And this is me realizing that lo mmetho amenzileyo sana is not make sure, but we made a plan for it as well to try and make our lives easier. Also, Bestie was so tired, and I think it was after midnight by this time, and I totally understood. And Sana, it was just a few hours before my flight, so I was literally just like, Aslali, like, we're not going to bed, because if I leave, you're on your own. And yeah, no, it has to be done.
Yazibona izandla zami zinjani Voloto? Yazibona izipho zami zinjani?
Bungathi you're going to add on to your set of skills.
Does it look like I'm getting hired for a job like this? Does it look like I want to get hired for a job like this? Now there's 5 of these that are all the same size. Feeling like they're most likely the ones outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 pounds. Sana isima sami siyakwazi. Yeah. I thought I've had a soul or I thought we were obsessed with that. Sana ecula abantu uya. No. Ingathi dungile kule ndawo nje seriously ngathi.
This was round about 2 a.m. in the morning, and we decided, the rest we can like take quick naps, and then wake up before we have to go drop me off at the airport, and we can finish up. So we went to go take a shower, and I was just finishing off, and then I also went to go take a shower, and she carried on, and yeah, this was when we called it a night. But we went to bed at like 3 a.m. in the morning. This was the next morning, and we still had like a couple of doors left to put back on the whatsoever, which is what I was doing. And we started painting the outsides. And I ungandibuzi where she got all of that energy from, because now I was literally just like, I'm just doing the bare minimum now, and after that I'm going to pack my bags, because Sana ndimgelo ujonge kitchen looking all sorts of good, but we were also hungry. But I was geeking at the fact that we had just accomplished that. It was looking really good. Besties, I hope you're all good. I don't think I took a video this morning, but anywho, I even forgot that I could look this clean, because Zana, and this is not even me, but this is just us, because Zana, oh no, I've been looking keto. It was a different level of dirty, but now I feel clean. But anywho, this is my last video, and calling it the roughest 5 days of my life. We are now at day 5, and the cupboards are all up, and she's busy painting her coats. I'm ready to head out to the airport. And I'm just gonna go inside and take a quick video of what's happening inside. Peace, friends.
When I say we are my mother's children, Sana, because Sana, I saw that but like I saw train me. No, anything to save a buck. But like, at what cost? At what cost though? At the cost of and my bag. And my sanity. I said it like I was joking yesterday. I think the up and down. No, but Chomi. No, Mabetuna. But oh, Sana, proud. I can't wait to send you pictures when I've like decorated, finished everything, like fitted everything nicely, walls, cabinets. Placements of whatever's going to be on top. Sana, what was meant to be 2 days is now into day 5, and the second coat up is outside in. And then she'll get to the floor once upon a day. What else still needs to be done?
Floor, yeah, I still need to do. And then there's tiles,
Oh yeah, we also took off cupboards in a hob.
and something needs to be done about this. I'm most likely going to spray it.
About what?
The lights.
Oh, yeah, no, Johnny.
It needs a little bit of reviving.
CV yam ke ndifaka ucarpentry osogqiba ii-references zam nguwe nobhuti andiyazi uba ndine-qualification endizichola phi na for uba zii-references because andizo-references is-solid.
Okay.
But it's fine now, it's a reference, yeah. And after all of that, we went and changed and we drove me to the airport. Yeah, we were bopping to some nice tunes from like 2020 something. 2020, oh yeah, COVID, when we were stuck together. But yeah, it was a lovely drive and I could feel my body crashing and it was about to have one hell of a crash. I hope you enjoyed watching that because Sana, yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely, that is not something I would ever do again. Honestly, that is one of those things that for me, I've been there, done that, never again. And Sana, I just know I can do it. Like, if force comes to shove, I can do it, which I have absolutely no reason to think I will ever be in such a situation again, because Nale, I was not in the force comes to shove situation. It was just that we like saving money because, yeah, I don't like spending money though. That's also another thing. But for that, oh no, it's like kubi mali lola. By the time I have to do it, I will kuba the money for it very nice and easily. I will never ever put my body through that ever again. No, Emmanuel labor ne into esikhule ngayo ish. So hlukana nayo somewhere down the line. Yeah, like when we go home just to be home, I guess. Like, we barely do anything, I'm not even going to lie, which has its perks, and honestly I'm really trying to find the disadvantages to it right now and I can't find them. So yeah, the life that Uvoyo and Snovundo lived is really not a life that I can relate with a lot. It's yeah, I'm really bordering on softie. I really, actually, I'm not bordering on softie. I am a softie. I am, and I don't know why I'm so shy about it. I think it's because of how I grew up. I think that's why I don't really like, and the ichong is fuka. But no, to be honest, I am a really spoiled person. But I will show up for my loved ones, and that was pretty much that. If this one ever says I do not love her, lol, or video, because there's no way I would ever put my body through that for someone that I do not love. Absolutely no way. But yeah, guys, maybe I'll see you once again in another 6 months. Because you see this shame, it is not my portion. Guys, editing is not for weak ones either. It really isn't, and I suspect in the week. So guys, thank you so much for watching this YouTube video, and once again, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Got it right, clocked it. Well, shy YouTuber, but yeah, please do that. I would be very much appreciated. This is me signing out.